Hello everyone, it has been a month since I started driving this car. I have put actually 3,000 kilometers on it already in a month, so 100 kilometers a day on average. And I would like to talk about this car in all about my feeling. A monthly review kindly. So since it's electric, it's pretty good. I would say I love electric cars. And free power, mostly it's about the cheapness of driving it around. So I call it the more I drive, the more I save. Actually, I think after probably 3 to 5 years of driving, if I drive this car for so long, I could earn a car back technically, yeah. And then the free power actually, especially low-end torque, really helps me. Unlike in Canada, where if I merge into one lane, people will yield me. So they technically they slow down a little bit, and then they can get the chance. Use the window to control the lights there. Here, people seldom yield. They just come at fast, come at the speed, and they never keep a safe distance, so-called. So what I do is at those merging area, I just accelerate hard to keep my speed up. Or sometimes I need to make an overspeed in order to merge in, just to keep the safe distance. They never keep safe distance, and that's why China's accident rate is so high on the highway. A lot of tailgates. Then the climate control. The climate control for this car is pretty cool. It's yeah, it's pretty good. I would say the air conditioning is so powerful. Along with these Luma glass films, which shield a lot of light. This it's nearly summer now, and the car is just super cold. Yeah, if I turn on the air conditioning continuously, it would be super cold. That comes with a flaw. The temperature control, the climate control inside, cannot evaluate the overall temperature very well. I usually set it to 22 or 23 degrees Celsius, but it won't work. It will be too cold. If I set it to 25, I never set it to that high. I'm a person who is quite afraid of cold. Regardless, I have lived in Canada for 6 years. No, most of the time I stay in the warm, heated environment, so I don't feel the coldness outside. Yeah. So that is the issue. I like the touch screen. The 12-inch touch screen is fascinating. And then, yeah, the 12-inch touch screen is fascinating. I wish it to be larger. It can be 15-inch, the same size as Tesla, but I never get the chance. There's no chance for me to get a 15-inch touch screen. The system is Android, so at least I have comfy environment. The Android tablet, I would say, yeah, pretty good. Wait a second, I'm not coming to review this car or say some more new things. I'm coming to talk about my 1 month experience, right? So I should talk more about my driving. The auto cruise control is fine for me. It performed pretty well on the highway. I wish it can be more intelligent to a level of like Tesla Autopilot or Xpeng's Xpilot, but BYD's software is not too standard. Really not too standard. My consumption, talking about EVs, we really need to talk about consumption. The consumption of this EV is actually around 128 to 129 watt-hour per kilometer. The nominal is 120 108 to 129. On highway, I would get more. On highway, I would get a consumption of 134 watt-hour per kilometer, while on the normal road, I would have a consumption of, I would say, around 124 to 123. I keep the climate on all the time, and on days which I have which I drive don't that fast, and my air conditioning seldom need to work. For example, if outside temperature is like 22 degrees Celsius or 24 degrees Celsius, I really don't need air conditioner. I will have a consumption of only like 118, or the minimum I get is 114, but I think that's just one optimal case. Oh, you know, one thing interesting? One thing I do is I provide the shuttle service. So it's like a convenience shuttle if I have free spot on my car, which I typically have if I go to work or get back to work from in the evening. Especially get back to work in the evening, I have plenty of spare time for me. I carry passengers who want to go from my workplace to home, which is around 50 kilometers. That earned me quite a lot. Actually, until now, I think I have earned more than $500, slightly more than $500. And yeah, so what I did is I just use the app. It's something like a Uber service, but I'm not registered as a full-time driver. I'm actually a part-time driver. So yeah, talk about that. Around 120 Chinese yuan is approximately the electricity consumption. So shuttle approximately 3 to 4 people will give me enough money for 1 month's electricity, and you know, I earn $500. So what I do is I'm using that money to do some decorations like these things, and repair my car. So like there are some dents on my car already, so, and pink chips. So I'm buying something to repair that. I'm thinking about getting a machine to wash my car, but that will be a lot more expensive. But and I'm not anticipated on doing that at this moment yet. So not going to do that. I also tried some. Yeah, talking about lights, I also tried some night driving. There are night driving time for me. Sometimes it's dark. The auto high beam is pretty good, although I seldom have chance to use it because if I'm on the highway, the Chinese highway is so crowded. I just don't have a chance to run the. Yeah, I just don't have the chance to run the auto high beam because it seldom switch to high beam. Yeah. Talking about the charging, I have a home charger already, so I charge at home, but I can also charge in my company. Yeah, I bought this car. The initial purpose is I want to charge in my company because I say, hey, when I performed the interview in my company, they say, yeah, it's free for charge. So I say, okay, say I buy an electric car, I charge it at the company. Win-win, right? It's a good PR also for my company. But the management in my company said, no employee vehicles charging in the company. So yeah, it's actually a fight, technically. Like my supervisor and even the vice manager of our company said, they're allowed to do that. We are a renewable energy company. But when they talk about the management, they don't, the general management, or you can consider it as facility management. They don't like that. Well, what I do is I charge my car during off hours. For example, when after 5:30 when people is off, and on Wednesday I will work extra hour, and also on weekend if I work extra hour, I will charge it. Yeah. Get some free juice and yeah, give a PR for my company. What's the bad thing about that, right? I'm also actually collecting data actually from this car because this car is a LFP battery. So it's a battery which I do not have a lot of experience on. I worked with those NMC or NCA batteries which have a higher voltage, but more dangerous. This car here have that battery which will never catch on fire. So I'm going to do that and see. I'm going to collecting data. I really want to again hack into the CAN bus system, but never get a chance. If anyone who knows how to tap into a CAN system, how to siphon the data out, please leave a comment below. I like to see that. I like to make an app which is like Scam My Tesla, really. Well, let me get back to the interior. I seldom talk about the interior. Yeah, the front seats are actually performance seats. They are like sports seats, but they're not very comfortable for long distance driving. Like my neck will feel uncomfortable. Come on, like the 2016 Nissan Sentra I get from the when I was in North America, when I was in Canada, that one I don't have the feeling. I can drive for a long time if I put my head on the headrest. It's comfortable, but this one is not. It would make me feel very uncomfortable to drive. That's why I have these neck rests now. They're pretty comfortable, yeah. But technically these things are not safe. Let me tell you these things. Like if it's in a car accident, your head will have some space between your head and the back. If some rear-ended, your neck will go like this. And technically, if the hitting is severe, you will break your neck. Yeah, it's not something safe to play with. I think if during highway driving or long distance driving, I would more prefer to put it right behind my head, so it do not impair my head turn to check my shoulder, but it also protect my head and make my neck straight. Yeah, talking about a kid which is 26 years old, I'm getting old and uncomfortable with these things now, right? And the other thing is it lacks some kind of door pocket. The lower one has a door pocket to put my water in, but not on the top. On the top, like at the armrest area, I really wish it have a small tray. If there's a small tray there, then I can put my phone, not because I'm going to look at it. I can put some like camera gears, like my small microphone. This one? Yeah. But I cannot. So sad for me. Piano trims is good, leather is good. I'm not a leather fan, by the way. I'm more like the feeling of Alcantara, but someone say leather can last longer, so yeah. I love the place where you put your cell phone. Not only it can wireless charge my phone, but it can also prevent me from reaching the phone while I'm driving, especially when I have a water bottle there. I know a lot of Chinese drivers, they text and drive, and that's just an ordinary in China. They drift into lanes, and I normally horn them back. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, honestly, I need to do a lot of horning in China, which annoys me. I say a good cat never meow, but yeah. I just don't have the choice. I have the moonroof on the top. You can see I made it open, but I seldom use it. Really don't see the reason to use it. The rear side, little people has a sit on in the rear. It is way more comfy than the. Yeah, it is way more comfy than the Sentra. It just have more leg room. But talking about the room, the trunk space is complicated. Well, overall speaking, I would say I'm very satisfied with this car for a commute, and this is my first EV. Cool. but there's still a lot of imperfections. I'm going to make a dedicated video about what I dislike about this car. Yeah, probably use Model 3 as a benchmark, but they're in different tiers. So stay tuned. Yeah, I'm going to drive it for even longer time. Another 3 months, 6 months, a year. And at that time I might get back to Canada, or I might still stay here. Who knows? Okay, I forgot something. I can name my car. My car was always the name of Qing Plus EV. I always want to give it a name, but I never came up with anything good until now. I think I'm going to name my car Original. Now, why name it like this? Qing is actually the very first centralized dynasty, which centralized China, make it under one country, so it can be considered as the origin of China. Then for this car, it's my first electric vehicle, and I think it marks the beginning of a next era. So that's why I think Original is the best name for this car, and I will call it Original in the future. Yeah.